A big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video.
Morning everybody, fantastic to see you all again. I've just arrived at my location and I'm hoping to get to the top of this small hill to catch sunrise this morning, and I'm running just a little bit late, but the weather looks fantastic. Okay, camera. Oh, we had so much rain last night, so the paths are so wet, but it's just got a nice feel to it this morning, which is fantastic. Okay. There is something really magical about hiking in the dawn light with just a head torch. I've seen a fox and a barn owl already, and there's bats flying above me. This is stunning. Oh, that was a tough climb, but just look at all this heather. It is almost prime. I reckon 2 more days and it would have been perfect, but it's fantastic. And Borrowdale and Grange always deliver for heather, but this year looks super special. So just a few hundred meters to the top and then we can see if we can find a composition. In fact, this is quite a good one. So I made it to the top, and as you can see by all this amazing heather, I have hit jackpot. The sun is just starting to light up the clouds over there. Now the shot is in this direction, which is going to just be full on sunlight, and really what I want to try and do is shoot some in these directions as well, so I get some side lighting. But this is so good, and I'm the only person up here. Why is everybody who's a photographer not on this hill now? It is covered in heather. There are views in 360 degrees. It's magnificent. So believe it or not, I'm actually struggling a little bit for a composition. There must be 100 compositions up here. But you know, when you're spoiled for choice, it's often more difficult. So I'm like, keep changing my mind, which is not a good idea. So I was just down over there, shooting towards the mist and the valley down there. And then I thought there was something good in this direction. And then I thought I probably should shoot back in the light in this direction. And then when I walked up, there was a valley that was like where I did that video just before now, which looked really good. And I think that's going to get some side light. So I think I might go down there and rule that out, because that's in the back of my mind. So I'm going to rule that out, and if that's no good, I'll come back up here. That's the plan. Time's are ticking. Okay, after a little bit of hunting, I've found a spot, and this is amazing. Apart from being attacked by midges, but I'll cope with that. So I've got this sort of heather here at the foreground, and then this rock formation leading to these beautiful mountains and the recession of the mountains in the distance over there. And then I've just got this cloud just up there, which just sort of anchors the shot. And the reflected light just in those mountains is amazing from the clouds at the moment. So I'm going to put my camera down, take the shot. I've got it on my wide angle lens, 14mm on my Z7, and it looks amazing. What we've always got to remember is that photography is difficult. It doesn't matter who you are, it's hard to get a good shot, and many hours go into getting the best shots of any photographer out there. They put a lot of hard work into it. But sometimes you're in the most amazing conditions, the amazing location, and you can't find a composition. And this happens to me all the time, and this is one of those times. There's just everything I wanted here: rocks, heather, nice light, beautiful distant views, and I'm struggling so much to find a shot. And maybe I've got one pre-visualized in my head that I shouldn't have done, but I'm really struggling so much. I've been up and down, you know, tried different things, tried a long lens, trying to shoot this tree down here now, which actually I think might work, but then I'm sort of doubting myself. Hopefully I'll get something, but it's certainly a lesson that it doesn't come easy. Photography is difficult, but it's still amazing. The hunt is what I love the most. The thought of going out and trying to find something. And if it was easy, it wouldn't be as much fun. But I'll tell you what the most difficult part of photography is, and that's getting out. That's getting up in the morning and getting out. This is my third morning where my alarm was 3:15 to hike up, either to hike to a lake or hike up a mountain. And I've had some late nights as well. So I really didn't fancy this morning getting out of bed. But once you're up, once you're out, I guarantee you'll never regret it. So just get up, get out, and that's the only chance you'll have of getting good shots. Okay, you might be uninspired, not uninspired, but you might be struggling like I am today, which is ridiculous. Look at the scenery. But anyway, I'm going to take a break. I've got the solution to everything. Not a hat. By the way, this is a new hat. Thanks, Jim. All will become clear in next week's video. The apple, the solution to everything. So I'm going to eat this, just chill, and then I'm going to find a composition.
It's a hard thing to know that your soul will stay hollow. Even if I know that nothing lasts forever, it's not easy to let go.
Maybe there's something there.
Can you love me again?
I'm looking in the wrong direction.
Can things ever be the same?
It's quite nice.
All I do is see things slipping through my fingers when he turns and walks away.
So that worked. Well, you never believe it. Literally 2 minutes after I'd had my apple and just chilled, I found a composition. Literally where I was sat, and I've been looking everywhere. It's a little bit different this, so I'll sort of explain it. Hopefully it will work. So I've got some really nice heather. I'm shooting almost with the sun behind me, which is quite unusual, but I've obviously got to be off just at a slight angle, otherwise I get my shadow, which works perfectly for the mountains in this direction over here. And then I've just got to get high enough so I get, because this is rock that's quite prominent, I don't want that just drop off. I want to be able to see just a little bit over it, and then the next mound and the next mound. So luckily I can just about get high enough with this tripod, and then I'm focusing in 3 places just to make sure that I've got all the data I need. I'll probably need 2 focuses and I'll stack them together. It looks really nice. It's quite sort of soft light, it's not like harsh light, which is probably quite nice really. But yeah, I'll show you the composition. So basically if I just turn it on its side here. So this was the composition I liked. I sort of saw that, and then I quite like these mountains here. And then by just coming a little bit closer, and then I've got it sort of like about, how have I got it? Just move my camera. So about there, and I'm just keeping in this rock on this side here because it just balances it. Without that, I feel like it doesn't quite work. And yeah, about there, I think is about the perfect composition. That looks awesome.
So there we go.
So I've just come a bit further down over the top of the ridge, and I think there might be a shot over here. If I can find some nice foreground, we've got a really nice sweep through this valley, which looks really good. And I think there's a really good chance of doing that. There's also a really nice stone wall there as well. Or I could even just do a long shot, a bit like what you're looking at now with me, and just shoot down there. Now the clouds are coming in, and there's some really high clouds, which is unfortunate. But there might be breaks in sunlight, so it's worth waiting around, seeing what happens, and see if I can get something just a little bit different.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Came a little bit of a different way down, and I found a few compositions on the way, but it was so sketchy coming down here. There's quite a lot of scree, and it's a little bit steep. I didn't stop, but I've got a bit of a ledge here that I can stop on, and I found this tree. Look at this tree here. It's really, really good. Now, I don't think the light is good today, but it's definitely going down on the map of a place to come back to. I've never seen this tree before, so it's hidden away from me, and I must have hiked up here, I don't know, 10 times. Good news. I think it's probably going to be a winter sunset tree. You'll definitely see more of it. Right, I'm going to see if I can get a few different angles of it for the collection, and then I'm going to head down and get a coffee.
Yeah, there we go.
So I'm back in my studio now, and I was really disappointed when I got back down from the mountain. I'd gone up there thinking I got this amazing heather, and I wanted to get this really special picture of the heather. And I sort of had in my mind I wanted a heather and some rocks lit just by a nice side light, and then the mountains in the background. And it seemed really easy in my head, and I think I had that picture in my head, and I just got stuck with that really. And I should have just forgotten it. And even though I ended up getting a photo that I liked, I'll explain. I'll go through it in a little bit of detail in a minute. There were some photos that I thought were okay, and I perhaps thought they were better in the film than they actually turned out. And then the one that I didn't really talk about a lot, that I said was probably good, but then I dismissed, is actually my favourite. So this is the shot with, we've got cows. There's cows going past. So noisy. So this is the shot. Oh, flipping tractor now. So this is the shot where the light was quite warm on the side of the rocks, and I think the composition of this has turned out quite well, but I feel like I perhaps overdid the foreground. I think it's just a little bit too dominant, and that's the problem when you've got a wide angle lens like a 14mm or 16mm. If your foreground's not super strong, if it's not really powerful, and I've mentioned this before, then it ends up being quite a big part of your image, and the background just disappears into nothing. And perhaps what I should have done is try to just use maybe 30 or 40mm and just zoom in and make more of that background as well as the foreground. And I probably didn't think about that enough. I had my 14 to 30mm on, and I got stuck in that a little bit. But I did take some other shots that I didn't show in the film, like this one here, which is something that I actually like, and I like the colour rendition of this. It was a little bit, I'm really sorry about the cows. I've tried to film this so many times and they keep mooing, so I can't do much about it. So this one, I like the colour rendition of this. The sun had just gone in, it was still quite cool light because it was very early. And I like this sort of dead heather in the foreground, but I don't think I really made enough of it. Similar with this one, I got rid of that dead heather, and again, I like this. What's really hard when you've got rock and purple is the green, and getting the green tones right, I feel, to sort of fit into this to the scene. But these are quite nice. But the one that I really liked, the one that I thought worked the best, is this shot here, which was taken quite early on in the day. In fact, one of the first shots that I took and showed in the video. I had some warm glow that was reflected onto my face, but I actually took that out of the image a little bit because I felt those orange tones didn't quite tone very well with the purples. But I really like this. I really like, you know, the simplicity of it, these two rocks, this triangular rock at the top sort of pointing up to this bit of sky. I think it's super simple and it works really well. So I was really pleased with this print, and I should have been really happy I got a shot like this. It looks really, really good printed out. And on hindsight, you know, I'm really happy with that. You know, that if that one shot was well worth getting up early for. But more importantly, I learned lots from that shoot. And you know, I learned that I should have tried, you know, not got stuck in that super wide angle and tried something a little bit longer, maybe about 30 millimeters, and tried to bring in the mountains a bit closer. But yeah, it was really good. The heather's amazing in the Lake District at the moment. I just want to mention the sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace. You may have guessed it, who are, you know, just so fantastic for supporting my channel for so long. It really makes such a big difference to me. So if you're looking for a website or a domain, then make sure you go and check out Squarespace. Their templates for websites are super, super easy to use, and they're fantastic. They look amazing as well. So you can go and try it out, and if you're happy with it and you want to go forward with it, then make sure you use offer code Nigel. It'll give you 10% off, or /Nigel. Okay, that's it. I'll leave you with some footage from next Sunday's video, which is going to be epic. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye.